Netmarble announced back in January 2022 that they were actively developing a brand new gacha game set in the world of solo leveling. At the time, players absolutely lost their minds. The Korean webcomic is probably one of the most popular webcomics of the last couple years after all, so it makes complete sense. But ever since their early announcement, they've gone completely radio silent. Not a single peep out of them. Until today, that is, when Netmarble's CEO confirmed that G-Star 2022 would feature 4 new games from the company, including Solo Leveling Arise. G-Star 2022 takes place November 17th through November 20th and will likely feature new gameplay footage and information pertaining to the game. But we already have enough to warrant excitement. Hey, my name is Stix and welcome back to another episode of The Last Gacha You'll Ever Play, a brand new series that I've been doing detailing gacha games that I think are going to be incredible titles. If you enjoyed this series, make sure to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification because YouTube told me that if you don't, well, this might not be the last gacha that you'll ever play. Oh, and make sure to check out the last episode in this series at the end of the video. The games in this series could be absolutely incredible, so you want to remain up to date. Before we go any further, I just want to take a moment here to thank all of the absolute chads and chadettes that support this channel via Patreon. You're all freaking legends. Seriously, each and every single one of you. I would offer to give each of you a kiss, but I suffer from severe intimacy issues. Additionally, if you want to stay up to date with all the latest MMO, gacha, and gaming news, take a second here to follow Mrs. Stix and I over on Twitter. We tweet daily. Solo Leveling Arise is going to be an action RPG developed completely cross-platform compatible between PC and mobile. Originally a manhwa, the game will be set in the modern world where humans that possess certain magical abilities become hunters. The main character is a low-rank scrub, something that we're all probably familiar with if we've ever played a competitive game online. The game will feature a variety of different characters. The trailer specifically showcased 4 of these characters, with a lot more to come, I'm assuming, at G-Star 2022 next month. Oh yes, the manhwa that this game is based upon has hundreds of chapters in total to pull story from. Although I'm gonna go out on a limb here and assume the plot for the game is going to retain a semblance of originality, opting to expand on certain aspects of the narrative in an effort to stretch it out. This is going to be a video game after all, and an RPG at that. The narrative is going to focus on Sung Jin-woo, who is struggling to pay his mother's hospital bills. He's a horribly weak hunter, but accidentally completes a secret quest that earns him the special ability to clear dungeons, obtain quests, and raise his stats on his own. Dungeons and questing are going to play a major part in this game. Korean MMOs are generally regarded as trash in the MMO scene, with the single exception of Black Desert Online. So, unfortunately, even if solo leveling were to be classified as an MMO, I fear it would do very poorly. Think Ni no Kuni Crossworlds, Tower of Fantasy, or Noah's Heart, none of which have been large successes. Given running dungeons is going to be a pivotal part of the gameplay loop, they might opt to feature a form of multiplayer content, not necessarily massively multiplayer, but most definitely several player group content. It would honestly be a missed opportunity and also a little weird if they neglect the potential multiplayer aspect of the game, but they did note that this is going to be a single player game, so take that speculation with a grain of salt. Given this is going to be an anime RPG as opposed to something like an MMO, it's unlikely we're going to be able to customize our character. As noted earlier, we play as a pre-established character, Sung Jin-woo, meaning if you wanted to play as a specific waifu, well, you no doubt can use them in combat, and you can even go as far as formulating teams specifically focused around your harem. The story is going to play out as if you were in fact Sung Jin-woo himself. Netmarble have promised a fast-paced, stylish action combat system. Many players have compared this to the Devil May Cry or Bayonetta franchises. While all we have thus far is a single trailer, it does look as though each character is going to have their own unique combat style and will likely fill a certain role, support, DPS, and likely tank as well. From what little footage we've seen, the combat does look pretty damn good, and I'm incredibly excited. Netmarble might make some pay-to-win trash games, but they do pull off beautiful games that nonetheless play well. Yes, Solo Leveling Arise is confirmed to be in active development for PC, for Android and iOS devices. This is going to be a completely cross-platform compatible game, meaning that you can play it on PC or on your phone. It's unconfirmed specifically which platform the game is going to be developed for, but if I'm being honest here, much like their other games, they'll likely prioritize mobile features over PC features and port the game on over to PC. I just hope they take some more time on it than they did with Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds. That was terrible on PC, and every single person that I talked to agreed that logging into the game for the first time was an absolute nightmare. Most, if not all, of Netmarble's games do release globally. They release within Korea first and typically tend to also release across Asia, but they inevitably release globally just after the fact. We're unfortunately an afterthought. Given the quality translation Crossworlds had though, I have high hopes that they'll do a good job localizing Solo Leveling, and I also hope for a simultaneous release. The game is still in active development, and I'd wager a guess is still far from being complete. Unless they're further along than any of us are actually aware of, which honestly might be the case given their showcase at G-Star next month. But yeah, they will most definitely be holding a closed beta, both for the Korean version of the game and the global version. When is unconfirmed, 2023 probably. Solo Leveling Arise does not have a confirmed release date at present. The game is definitely not releasing this year. Given its preview at G-Star, it could potentially be much closer to release than we expect, so speculating 2023 might not be such a distant reality. And finally, yes, this is going to be a gacha game. I know that this is not something that everyone is interested in, and that's more than fine. But at the end of the day, if you don't like the game, you can just not play it. Given the track record of Netmarble, however, this could very well end up being a pay-to-win, blockchain, NFT-ridden autoplay mess of a game. But at the same time, maybe they learned from their mistakes with Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds, and this will be an incredible game. It definitely has the potential to be. Now, if you're interested in other absolutely incredible looking games that could potentially drastically alter the course of the genre, check out my previous videos in the Last Gacha You'll Ever Play series, or alternatively, check out this video featuring the most played gacha games right now in 2022. These are the gacha games that you should be playing.